No, fine, take your time. Fucking hell. That was coiled. Jesus wept. Usually we've been doing that on a Sunday morning, but it's Thursday today. We've got Deads later, but I'm away this weekend, so I wanted to make sure we still got it in together before I went. Outside temperature this morning on Ben's car was showing 0.2, fucking I can't spec, minus 2.5 degrees. On my car it's showing minus 1.5. Water temperature on Ducky were 5, so I don't know how accurate that is. And last week it was 8 degrees on the Duck, so we've definitely felt like I'm shaking, shivering my tits off right now. And I got a peppermint tea. With the cold water stuff, the main sort of benefits for me, by the way, is like, it just feels, good. Feels good after, like immediately after you got like more clarity, more energy. And it's something I can do with my mate as well. Like, you know, I'm at that age now, early 30s, where unless you're getting pissed every weekend or you're playing a sport with them, you don't really see your close mates that often because you're all fucking busy getting after it and raising your family and stuff. So it's good to be able to do this with Ben on a weekly basis. So definitely rate it for that. And it's nice to do something hard every week and sort of challenge you. Like that felt hard today. That felt like a challenge to do that. Like I was a little bit scared. So doing that, really good way to start the day. And there's some research on it helping stress tolerance and being able to deal with like stressful situations better. And makes sense, I suppose. You're doing something that's quite stressful, going to getting a fucking some incredibly cold water. So yeah, we'll live in anyway. There's some other benefits as well, but they're the main ones that I sort of get from it. Right, I'm off skis. I shall see you when it comes time to train. En route to the garage. House is pretty much finished now, so buzzing about that. I'll just tilt that puppy down a touch. Yeah, house is pretty much finished now, so buzzing about that. Could probably move back in today if I really wanted to, but rather not put the pressure on myself. I won't be getting these videos edited if I did that. So yeah, gas with that. Today we've got deadlifts, as I've mentioned already. Obviously we went and did the cold dip this morning with my boy Benny B. I'm feeling that week 4 sort of fatigue this week. Combination of training, but also sleep's not been as good as previous blocks. Prior to competition, obviously with the other half being preggers, found ourselves getting to sleep at like between 9 and half 9 every night, whereas now, or you know, one night a week might be just a bit after 10, whereas now probably getting to sleep between like 10 and half 10, so probably getting an hour's less sleep. By no means am I like taking piss with sleep, you know, we're getting about 8 hours of sleep opportunity, so probably sleeping for like 6.5 to 7, 7 on a good night, so it's not terrible, but obviously it could definitely be better. So I'm definitely feeling a bit more fatigued this week, with a combination of training fatigue building week on week and that. And today, obviously went and did the cold water. Typically after I do the cold water initially, my lower back can get a little bit tight, so I'm still feeling that. Also, what's not helped is I haven't really got my steps in today, because obviously I threw in the cold water this morning, which I don't typically do on a midweek. Usually I start work at like 7. Obviously our sunrise isn't until 7:45, so we got there for 7:30 to do the cold water, so I was knocked back an hour with work. And then one of my client calls went over by half an hour, another one went over by 5 minutes. So typically I'd get me steps in a bit in the morning, like sort of front load my day with walking, which loosens my lower back off. Obviously you geezers over 30, especially you geezers over 40 and 50, hopefully there's some of you guys over 40 and 50 watching this. You know, like in the morning you are a bit tighter, and if you just go straight to sitting down, you're not going to feel your best. So my lower back is a bit tight right now. I actually just got myself a cheeky 20-minute nap, kind of one of them where I sort of fell asleep, sort of didn't, but it will have done me good. So yeah, we've just had a black coffee then. Pre-workout, we're going for the oats, honey, dates and whey with salt. Seems to be working. And we've also got an ABE, a can of ABE in the garage as well, so I'll have 200 milligrams of caffeine from that. Obviously I've had about 75 milligrams of caffeine from that coffee as well. So we'll be well and truly caffeinated up. I think that's about 3 times body weight in terms of caffeine, so definitely on the performance side of things with that dosage. 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, up to 5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight for like performance improvements from caffeine. Obviously you kind of don't want to rely on it and spank it too much because it can end up fucking with your sleep, but that's what we're doing today. I'll put the full training plan here. So as you can see, we've got deficit deadlifts to start. I believe we've got 4 sets of 3 with a pause. Last week the heaviest we went was 132.5 kilos, so nothing crazy. We'll probably aim to chip that if we can, but obviously we'll take what's there. Then we've got incline dumbbell press. In fact, no, we're not. We've got safety bar good mornings, but I've been doing dumbbell press before that, because I've usually been doing deadlifts and dumbbell press at the garage, then going to the gym and doing the safety bar good mornings in the rest of the session. But yeah, we'll see what we end up doing there, which we're doing first, because I kind of want to go a bit heavier on the dumbbells this week, I think. And it's not really that safe doing them in my garage, because on the incline, because I don't actually have an incline bench. I just put my bench on top of some fucking blocks, which is probably not the smartest thing in the world. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with that. And then we've just got walking lunges and leg extensions. Walking lunges, probably doing body weight, unless I'm feeling super confident, and quad and knees are feeling great. And leg extensions, I'm probably gonna do slow them puppies down this week. I was quite aggressive with them in the last few weeks. By no means were they like super fast, like I was going like nice slowing the way down, but I wasn't pausing at the top, I wasn't pausing at the bottom, which you don't have to, but I might do that just to limit how much load I can use, and hopefully it won't beat my quad up as much in a bad way, so which will leave us nice and fresh for the start of the next block on Monday. Yesterday I was speaking to a guy at the barbers, a guy that I've like known from the gym for probably 4 or 5 years now. He's got 2 kids, works long hours, stressful work. His kids are like between 5 and 10, I think, so they're doing stuff after school that he's obviously got to take them to and stuff like that. And he's also started Thai boxing on a Saturday morning. He's loving that, and basically his training is just out of routine with it, and I could tell it would get into him. And I sort of asked like what he's sort of doing there, like, you know, have you tried X, have you tried Y? And he says, well, what he typically does is like push-pull legs. It'll do like push, might get pulled in, and then it comes around to getting legs in, and he just hasn't got time or what have you, or he's just fucked, or the gym's too far away, etc, etc. And it sounds like excuses, but I do understand where he's coming from. Like, he's just feeling fucked, battered, fatigued. He's in his 40s. He's got the Thai boxing he's trying to deal with now, so legs ends up getting dropped. And he's used to training in like the a way of training that's popularised by like British bodybuilders in like the last 10 years. So like top set, back off set, trained by JP style. think he got coaching off Callum Rastrick once, so obviously like a top bodybuilding coach. And you know what, it's an efficient way of training to build muscle and stuff, if your life allows for it. So like training to failure, training hard and getting them 3 sessions in. Right now it sounds like this guy's struggling recovery, struggling with time, probably struggling with motivation as well a little bit. He works at different points, so he don't want to have multiple gym memberships as well, so there's the financial side of things too, so I fully get where he's coming from. And it just got me thinking, like, guys that have been training for like 5+ years, 10+ years, 15+ years, you've had your way of doing things, right? And it probably worked really well. And that's why you've got like an emotional connection to it. That's why it's your bias. This is the way to train. I know how to train. I know what I'm doing, but things aren't working. And basically, like, in this situation, this guy probably needs to do something completely different to what he's doing now. And it might be something as simple as like 2 full body sessions a week. And when I suggested that to him, he was like, I'll be fucked from full body work. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to train to failure. And you pick the movements that you do. So you don't have to be doing a fucking deadlift on one of your full body sessions or a back squat or anything like that. Like, you could literally be doing like, pick a compound for upper body, pick a compound for lower body, one push for lower, one push for upper, one pull for upper as well, and then maybe like a hamstring curl for lowers. So it could literally be like hamstring curls to start off, warm up the knees, warm up the joints, but don't fatigue the prime movers of the leg press. Move on to leg press next, hit something nice and heavy. Next up, move on to some kind of pressing movement. Make sure you do plenty of warm-up sets, and then, you know, you don't necessarily have to go to failure either if you know it's going to be one of them weeks where sometimes you might have to train 2 days in a row, or, you know, only have 1 day rest in between. You're doing a full body. You don't need to train to failure. And what you'll be surprised is you probably end up progressing your lifts as well. So it might be you do 3 sets of 8 with 2 reps in the tank, 3 reps in the tank. And this is going to sound like it's going to sound like the Antichrist to guys that have trained in that particular way for years, and that, you know, that was me as well. But I actually made my best strength gains and a lot of my best muscle gains by training with like repetitions and reserve and full body style sessions, kind of like what I do now, which is a madness. So yeah, food for thought, like. And off the back of the conversation, he asked me if I'd do him like one-off training program and help him out. Unfortunately, that's not something I do. I literally just do like my main coaching service. I just said, yeah, just fucking message me, man. I'm more than happy to answer questions and stuff for free. Like, obviously, I don't want everyone taking it piss now and just messaging me a fuckload of questions. But I don't mind. You know, if you want to ask questions, you can ask them. You know, like, I think people sometimes when I say I don't do one-off training plans, just proper coaching, I think sometimes they think it's just about money, and it's fucking not. I've done it before where I used to give like one-off plans and you see someone and they just fucking don't get anywhere because it needs change, it needs tweaking after a week or two. That's the thing with coaching, like, and training plans. You can have the best plan on paper, you get a couple of weeks in, if things aren't working, it needs tweaking. And first of all, one, it won't do them a great service, but secondly, it kind of like looks bad on you as well as a coach, or me as a coach as well, so it's just not something I do at all anymore. Because true coaching, you need that top-down approach where you're able to plan months, weeks, years. You need to be able to plan that sort of them larger training cycles and stuff. But one of the biggest things about having a coach is having someone that's there to deliver that bottoms-up approach as well. So to be able to pivot things, change things on the week if needed. So yeah. So if you're not getting all your training anymore and you're getting fucking pissed off that you're not getting it in because you gotta keep the missus happy, keep the kids happy, do what you feel like you need to do to be a good provider, then it might be worth trialing some full body stuff. Right, 70 keys. So we've just done the bar. I don't need to talk about it. Fucking boring it. Anyway, let's get it. deadlifts complete. Now we're going to drive down to the unit. Watching that 140 back, didn't really, apart from my very first set where I was just sort of like, I think I was just sort of like my body waking up and stuff, on that very first set of 130. But after that, like, I did 130 again, 135, 135, 140. None of the sets felt much different to each other at all. I know it's only 5 kilos difference, but made me sort of wonder, have I just undershot that a little bit? Could I have gone even more? But it's a good position to be in. I mean, I feel like I'll get good carryover from them because I wasn't doing any sort of like crazy dumb techniques like I've done in the past, like trying to just make it look fast for the sake of being fast. Like I truly focused on just like positioning. And there's actually a guy that I had a bit of coaching off years ago called Josh Edwards, a Welsh lifter, really good lifter, fucking beast to be fair, and coached me in lockdown a bit. And something that, a quote that he used, I don't know where he got it from, was slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So sometimes if you just focus on being meticulous and slow, not necessarily focus on being slow, but if you focus on being meticulous and not trying to be fast, it'll end up being a much smoother lift, and then it'll just end up being fast as a knock-on effect, rather than just trying to be fast out the gate no matter what, which is what sometimes I can do. And then you end up potentially losing positioning. Your technique might not be as good because you're just getting too like G'd up. So that it definitely applied to that deadlift variation. Woo! Set number 2 about to go down. We're doing a 3-second negative, pause at the bottom, pause at the top. Last few weeks we've been going 3 seconds down, but we haven't been pausing at the top or bottom, which is fine. But because the quad were a bit beat up this last weekend, more than I'd like it to be, I'm thinking, right, what ways can I make it so it's not going to be as beat up this time? And one of which is by slowing down the tempos, or more time and attention. Forces you to use less weight, and you're not being as you're not like bouncing off the bottom or anything like that. So. That was disgusting. Right, session done. That were a good one, that. Ended up doing literally only 5 kilos less than the leg extension, but with like way better control than last week for the same amount of sets and reps. So happy with that. Rest of the session went really well. Deadlifts up from last week with the same same level of difficulty. Safety bar squats, all sets on 90 kilos this week. Well, last set were on 95 actually, and all around the same difficulty as last week. So strength's up, we're holding good condition in terms of physique right now. I should probably do a physique update at some point. And a full day of eating. I feel like that's probably the stuff guys you probably want to watch more than just the training stuff. Waste, man. It's 5:35. I'm supposed to finish work at 6. I'm probably going to get home for 6. And then I'll have some client responses to get through. Make sure everyone's responded to. On a Thursday morning, I always fire out anyone that checks in on a Monday. Thursday morning, I'll fire out a message, see how they're getting on, address anything that's important regarding their journey specifically, and then I'll, in and amongst the day, I'll respond to them. And then I should make sure everyone's responded to by the end of the day and we're good. Kind of wanted to still have an Instagram post to bash out, got to stay consistent with that type of stuff. Don't have to do an email today or anything like that. I can do that tomorrow. And yeah, that's about it. I need to upload the private podcast. Or upload to the private podcast. So basically, twice a week, 3 weeks out the month, I will do group coaching calls with guys inside the program. They can join if they want, they don't need to. Obviously it benefits them. And we'll do like once a month, I'll do like a teaching topic where I'll make a presentation, we'll go hard on a certain topic. And then every Friday we've got the accountability call. Well, 3 Fridays out the month. Do what's called an accountability call. It's just lunchtime on a Friday. If people can do it on the lunch, brilliant. If not, no worries. And then we have like different ones for the others. So we always have a strategy call as well, which is like, where are you winning? Where are you seeing the most challenges right now? Where do you want to be this time next month? And we go through that type of stuff with the guys. That's a bit more of a meaty one. Sometimes we do a Q&A for one of them. And then yesterday we did what's called a client hot seat. So we actually had a lad in program called Bradders, who's lost 2 stone this year, built muscle. He's in way less pain with his knees. He's had 2 knee operations and he's fucking always been in agony with them, which he did playing football. And he's a decorator by trade, so what he finds is he can't like sit on his knees at work. And now for the first time in years he's been able to sit on his knees with like no pain. So he's got like loads of mobility back, he's in less pain, he's lost body fat, he's stronger. He said his confidence in his own physique has gone from a 2 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. So, and we still got room to push, so that was fucking awesome. I should probably at some point look into doing a bit of a podcast with clients that I share publicly, because I think that's like such a good way to show the type of, show how fucking good people are doing. And I think sometimes as well, when you actually hear someone speak on like a podcast, but it's not just like an Instagram reel or a before and after, it feels more real. I think it always looks like so unattainable when even stuff I share, like I'm bad for it, like I'll share a transformation, there's not much you can do, it's a before and after and it looks fucking ridiculous. But then like, and you try and convey in the caption like how hard they found different bits and stuff like that, but typically people just look at the picture and like it or whatever, or they think fucking hell, it's so hard to do. But when you actually sit down with guys and ask them, they're like, oh yeah, they're still struggling with this, still struggling with that, still working through this bit they found really hard. And it makes it way more human and way more like attainable. So might be something I do going forwards. I feel like I've not got enough on my plate, may as well get busier. But yeah, once I get home I'm going to have 40 grams of whey, going to have some cornflakes again, I think, a banana, some cinnamon. I need to put something on my toes because I got chilblains from doing that cold water this morning. Fucking Jesus. Might have a bath or a shower. I haven't decided which. Definitely one of them though, guys. Don't worry. And yeah. After that meal, I'll have like a savoury meal, which is like the evening family meal. So they might be a bit pressed together tonight, which isn't perfect, but sometimes you just got to get shit done. And then before bed, probably about an hour before bed, I'll have a skyr yogurt tonight. I might have that with 2 slices of toast. Living.
Or if I'm being a really good boy, I might have it with some oats. We'll see how I'm feeling. Anyways, tomorrow we have got banded bench press, the last session of the block. I think we hit up 90 kilos plus the purple band last week. It's the heaviest I've gone on that. I'd love to hit 100 kilos, but once again, I think that'd be a silly move. I think it's probably wise doing like 95 at a push. But we'll see how I feel. It might be that I just have to repeat the same weight as last week, because I typically do that session on a Saturday, not a Friday. But because we're going away this weekend, I'd rather just get it done tomorrow as a one-off. But I've done dumbbell press today, you see, so is what it is. We'll get it done regardless. Anyways, I'm gonna stop waffling. I'm hoping you're liking the vlogs, the amateur hour vlogs that look a little bit less amateur hour now. I've got my fancy camera, my mic. But yeah, hope you're good anyway. Hope your families are good. Hope you're having a great week. And I shall see you in the next one. Peace.